The Space Force's small launch.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to YouTube Daily Military, Small Launch, Pathfinders for the Future of Launch, video produced to highlight Launch Enterprise, the current trajectory of the Small Launch and Targets Division, and the various methods USSF is working with industry partnerships to support future responsive launch capabilities, featuring courtesy video from industry partners, USSF, and Kirtland AFB Public Affairs. A light lift launch vehicle or small lift launch vehicle is an orbital rocket launch vehicle capable of lifting up to 2,000 kilograms, 4,400 pounds, of payload to low Earth orbit, LEO. The next larger category consists of medium lift launch vehicles. The first small lift launch vehicle was the Sputnik rocket, which originated with the R-7 Semyorka ICBM of the Soviet Union. On October 4, 1957, the rocket was used to carry out the world's first satellite launch, placing the Sputnik 1 satellite into low Earth orbit. The US responded by attempting to launch a Vanguard rocket. However, the launch of the Vanguard TV-3 failed, with the launch of the Explorer 1 satellite on January 3, 1958 aboard the Juno I, the first successful US orbital rocket launch. Vanguard I was the second successful US orbital launch. This is the beginning of space warfare.
Proud to be leading an extraordinary group.
Any drone spotted off base that's not
332D Expeditionary Security Forces launches Small Unmanned Aerial Systems, SUAS, Staff Sergeant Braxton McHughes, 332D Expeditionary Security Forces Squadron, explains importance of reporting unauthorized Small Unmanned Aerial Systems, SUAS, undisclosed location in Southwest Asia. SUAS roles have expanded to include intelligence gathering, electronic attack, drone strikes, suppression or destruction of enemy air defense network node or communication relay, combat search and rescue.
DARPA's Advanced Aircraft Infrastructureless Launch and Recovery, or Ancillary X-Plane program, will develop and flight demonstrate critical technologies required for a leap ahead in vertical takeoff and landing, low weight, high payload, and long endurance capabilities. The unmanned air system will be able to launch from ship flight decks and small austere land locations in adverse weather without launch and recovery equipment typically needed for these systems. The program will study advanced propulsion architectures such as hybrid electric propulsion, advanced onboard energy storage such as high-density batteries or fuel cells, and advanced structures and manufacturing technologies to enable these leap-ahead capabilities. The Ancillary program desires a small vehicle form factor that will allow many aircraft to be deployed onboard a ship, providing the local commanding officer a network of organic information surveillance, reconnaissance, and targeting assets. Technologies demonstrated by the Ancillary program would also benefit point-to-point unmanned logistics operations. The ability for the warfighter to launch and recover the system in austere environments without reliance on infrastructure equipment will minimize personnel and costs as well as vulnerability.
Interdiction of 12 Cuban migrants. The Miami Air and Marine Branch launched a multi-role enforcement aircraft, MEA, for a maritime border security patrol. The MEA crew located a migrant vessel 10 miles southeast of Long Key heading northwest. The homemade sailing rustic vessel had 12 Cuban migrants on board paddling the vessel. The MEA crew directed a small boat from U.S. Coast Guard, USCG, Station Isla Morada to the scene. The 12 Cuban migrants were transferred to the USCG cutter Charles David, Jr. for further disposition. Bureau, New Jersey Air National Guard ACE demonstration. U.S. Air Force airmen with the New Jersey Air National Guard conduct an Agile Combat Employment demonstration on Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst, NJ, February 1, 2022. The New Jersey Air National Guard's 177th Fighter Wing and 108th Wing recently validated ACE capabilities in partnership with the Puerto Rico Air National Guard's 156th Wing to showcase their ability to operate in a remote location with a small contingent of airmen to recover, turn and launch air power capabilities. USS Portland, LPD-27, recovers the NASA Artemis I Orion spacecraft, Amphibious Transport Dock USS Portland, LPD-27, recovers the NASA Orion spacecraft, December 11, 2022. Portland, along with Independence variant littoral combat ship USS Montgomery, LCS-8, operated in U.S. Third Fleet in support of the recovery. The retrieval operation was part of a Department of Defense effort that integrated combatant command service capabilities to determine best practices for safely retrieving spacecraft capable of carrying humans into space. The U.S. Navy has many unique capabilities that make it an ideal partner for supporting NASA, including its amphibious and expeditionary capabilities with the ability to embark helicopters, launch and recover small boats, three-dimensional air search radar and advanced medical facilities. Neptune strike tests NATO air and naval power with drones. Synopsis: an activity aimed at testing the combined capacity of NATO air and naval power has just wrapped up following 2 weeks of training. Neptune strike, a multi-domain exercise, ran from 14 to October 28, 2022. 70 aircraft of various types, 20 ships, and around 5,000 personnel from 26 NATO allies and partners took part in the exercise. Neptune strike tested NATO's maritime warfare capabilities and the alliance's cohesion in a dynamic environment for both air and sea elements. Neptune strike also tested NATO's ability to combat potential threats caused by the malicious use of drones. On a training site on the northwest coast of Denmark, the Danish armed forces practiced launching a Banshee 600 drone. The Banshee 600 is a custom-built drone designed specifically for air defense simulated training. This footage includes shots of the drone taking to the skies with sound bites from Commodore Carsten Fjord Larsen, acting commander of the Royal Danish Navy, and Brigadier General Carsten Fladelius Jensen, Deputy Commander of Air Command Denmark, Royal Danish Air Force. NATO hosts its largest maritime unmanned systems exercise in Portugal. NATO allies tested maritime unmanned vehicles and applications in multiple demanding scenarios during exercise REP-MUS. NATO allies gathered in Troia, Portugal, to practice sharing information from unmanned platforms during recognized environmental picture, Maritime Unmanned Systems, or REP-MUS 19. The exercise saw allies using a variety of air and seaborne unmanned vehicles to collect intelligence in support of military and civilian operations. They also tested the Janus Protocol, a means of communicating with underwater vessels that was developed by NATO's Center for Maritime Research and Experimentation. Footage includes shots of various unmanned systems in action. Portuguese Marines raiding a beach while using intel collected by drones and Portuguese Naval Special Forces boarding a ship. Footage also includes interviews with Kevin Moyer, steering board chairman for NATO Maritime Unmanned Systems Initiative, and Andrea Bell-Miller, international director for the U.S. Program Executive Office and head of the U.S. delegation to the Maritime Unmanned Systems Initiative. Flying high at Navshiats with WASP course, international students from Argentina and Trinidad and Tobago are learning the necessary skills to effectively fly the RQ-11 Raven, a small hand-launched remote-controlled unmanned aerial aircraft, at Naval Small Craft Instruction and Technical Training School. The UAS Operations and Planning course is a 4-week course that teaches essential skills and competencies required to operate the RQ-11 Raven in tactical environments, Navshiats trains, and educates Foreign Special Operations Forces, SOF-like forces, and SOF enables across the tactical, operational, and strategic spectrums through in-residence and mobile training team courses of instruction, and serves as USACOM's premier security force assistance training asset. More than 12,000 students from more than 120 partner nations have trained with this Naval Special Warfare Command since 1963. Flying high at Navshiats with WASP course, international students from Argentina and Trinidad and Tobago are learning the necessary skills to effectively fly the RQ-11 Raven, a small hand-launched remote-controlled unmanned aerial aircraft, At Naval Small Craft Instruction and Technical Training School, the UAS Operations and Planning course is a 4-week course that teaches essential skills and competencies required to operate the RQ-11 Raven in tactical environments, NAVSHIATS trains and educates foreign special operations forces. SOF-like forces and SOF enables across the tactical, operational, and strategic spectrums through in-residence and mobile training team courses of instruction, and serves as USACOM's premier security force assistance training asset. More than 12,000 students from more than 120 partner nations have trained with this Naval Special Warfare Command since 1963.